Take a second to talk about the Sprite ice-cold keys to the
Ciao,
game. All
McLoven.
right, so Clark, taking a look at the Bucks, what's going to be the key for them?
Well, Baron Davis is a guy you can't leave unaccounted for. The NBA hardwood is one of the few places where stealing is encouraged, and he's the master. If you get casual with the ball around him, he'll pick your pocket.
All right, the Clippers. Clark, what about the Clippers? What's the key for them?
Marcus Camby, one of the premier rebounders and shot blockers in the league. He can change the complexion of a game without having a single play run for him on offense.
And here is Davis. In the game against New Orleans, very impressive. To the paint. Oh, rips it down with one hand. Clippers on D. They defeated the Hornets in their last game.
The job they did on the offensive side of the ball was excellent. Actually, it was great. They took care of every possession, getting a good distribution of their shooters, got a nice flow at the offensive end, and had their shooters, their key shooters, in a good rhythm early on.
Stolen by the Bucks.
He should leave those long bounce passes alone.
Great finish by Shorty.
Excellent defense, and the steal earns them a quick bucket in transition.
Here's Davis to Thornton. Gordon trains it from just inside the three-point line. Eric Gordon had a short but very productive college career. He hasn't missed a beat coming to the NBA.
Well, scorers typically have the easiest adjustment to the NBA, especially when you have the range that Eric Gordon has and the strength. And he's an improving ball handler, so no surprise that when he got the opportunity, he puts big numbers up.
And the basket by Thornton.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfect.
On defense, the Clippers. Ward to Alexander. From short range, the shot is up. And the Clippers the other way now. This game against Milwaukee here, it's their first look at the Bucks.
Yep, they'll see them twice this season, so not a lot of face time with these guys.
And here are the Bucks now, trailing by 2. Shorty backs in. Gets in close. And the rebound goes to Marcus Camby. And the people do like to see these interconference battles.
I agree with you, Kevin. Definitely in some sports you don't get to play all the other teams on your home court. So the fans love coming out for these.
The Bucks will hold on to it. One of the premier shot blockers, one of the premier rebounders, defensive players in the NBA, Marcus Camby.
Yeah, he's done it at a high level, long and lean. But boy, he's a game changer, Kevin. You didn't think he'd be that way coming into the league, as lean as he was, but my, has he proven to be effective at blocking shots, running the floor, and changing games.
And here is Davis after the miss by Milwaukee.
Boy, the turnovers are piling up pretty quickly here. We've seen them doing quite a bit of sloppy ball handling.
That's their third turnover in this quarter. And so here are the Clippers after the basket by Milwaukee. Here's Kaman, hits the jumper. These turnovers can pile up, like you were saying, Clark, and when you cough up the rock, you're forfeiting possessions.
Empty trips, we call them, Kevin, and that's exactly what they've been doing right now. You've got to be aware of where the defense is, and you also have to be ready to be patient and make good decisions with the basketball.
And here is Davis, following the bucket by the Bucks. Inside, flushes it in.
That's a good look. Very nice look.
And here is Red. 11-point game is last outing. Got a piece of it. Pucked on the shot clock. Here's Petrus. Kept alive. Bounce pass. Right up top.
Shocking how wide open he was. Even more shocking that he couldn't sink it.
The Clippers in the lead. Telfair from short range. Can't sink the first. And the Clippers going with something different. Good on number 2. And here are the Bucks now. It's a three-point game. Here's Bogut. Lays it in. Sweet dime to lead into the rack.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
The Clippers trail. And coming up this Friday, it'll be Joe Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks. They'll play host to the Charlotte Bobcats. Start time 7:30 Eastern.
They're a lot of fun to watch right now.
Right. Here's Gordon. Nets it from the wing. He has 6.
Boy, what a tough competitor, partner. He's still contributing even with the injury.
To Bogut, the jump hook. It kicks high up and in.
Great pick there. The defender was stopped in his track, and it freed up the easy basket.
Stolen away by Shorty.
I think he got baited into throwing that one.
No good, and they don't get the three-point play. Gordon hits the quick shot. Nice bucket by the 2-year man out of Indiana.
The defense was slow to set up there, and as a result, got burned.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. You look at Atlanta. They're in control of the #1 seed, looking to finish out the season strong. And checking out Milwaukee, way down below. And here are the Bucks now. About 3.5 minutes left in the second. Thomas. To Alexander. Gets it to the ball.
Inside, outside, Kevin. I love it. He drew the D in and then kicked it out to the open man.
Here's Collins. Connects from in close.
Those are the shot opportunities you want, right in the lane.
Alexander backs him down. From 17 feet out. Hits the front rim and in. He has 6.
After getting off to a decent start in the first quarter, they've really picked it up here in the second. They're shooting 60% from the field.
And so here are the Clippers. They trail by 3. Here's Griffin. Connects from 13 feet out.
He's not their go-to guy offensively normally, but when his number was called, he rose to the occasion.
Shorty hits the elbow jumper.
He can't be stopped. He's having a party out there.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. The one-year college requirement, Clark, is interesting. We're seeing kids now come out after their freshman year, some after their sophomore year in college. Is it helping or hurting colleges? And is it helping or hurting the NBA?
Well, I think it's a mixed bag at this point. It's only been a couple of years now that we've had the mandatory go-to-college rule for high school players. They've got to at least spend a year in college, and at that point they can determine whether they go to the NBA. I think 1 year of college is better than... That's how you make them pay. Solid defense results in extra opportunities.
And here is Davis. His last outing with 20 points. And looking forward to this Saturday, it'll be Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics as they make the trip to Dallas to play the Mavericks. Start time set for 8 o'clock Eastern.
You know they're going to be extra hyped up for this one.
You're right. Milwaukee in the lead. Here's Delfino. Gently drops it in.
This has been a clinic. I mean, here in the second quarter, it's been absolutely fun to watch. They're a step faster, they're playing smarter, they're playing as a team, and they're very sharp in everything they're doing.
And here is Davis. Heyman inside, covered by Bogut. Ward gets the defensive 3-second call. Shooting at a high percentage. All teams aim to do that. Let's see the league's best. You take a look at the Bucks, the most efficient team in the NBA in terms of scoring.
With all of the great shooters they have, it's almost easy to think that they would shoot a high percentage. But there's some other factors at play here. They're unselfish, they set good screens, they move well without the ball, and they're disciplined in that they don't take just any shot. They want the best shot available, and that's usually what they get.
Bucks on D. Al Thornton, 6 points for him. Canby down low. He's guarded by Thomas.
Nice, big momentum builders, those second chance points.
Here's Shorty. Flushes it with the one-handed jam. He's got 12.
He's not the guy you would expect to compete in the dunk contest, but he can still throw it down when he needs to.
On the sideline, Cheryl had a chance to speak with Coach Mike Gunley. Cheryl?
Hey, Kev, he's looking to make one big adjustment. Heart. They're not playing with heart. He says they look like they're sleepwalking out there, and they need to decide if they want to win. They know what to do. They just have to go out and do it. Now back to our play-by-play analysis. Kev?
Thank you, Cheryl. Well, the bad shooting continues for them to start this half.
A court to Barron. Sweet move. That's good.
Wow, I think he shot from there, Kevin. Not the guy you expect to hurt you in the post.
Jennings inside. A shot by Bogut.
He's a streaky shooter, but when he gets it going, he can put points on the board in a real hurry.
Los Angeles calls timeout. We're going to break in the action, so let's take a look at the West and how the teams are stacking up. Look at the Lakers. They're looking to lock up the best record of the conference and a #1 seed come playoff time. And checking out the Clippers, way down the ladder. And here is Davis, averaging 18 points a game. To Smith. From inside, graceful finish.
Yeah, both teams have ramped it up here in the second half.
Shorty, who's guarded by Davis. The steal by Jordan. The Clippers in the lead. Smith connects on the baseline jumper. 6 points for him. The Bucks trail. Shorty, who's guarded by Davis. Here's Red, trains it for 3. Sweet touch by the 10th-year veteran out of Ohio State. Now Gordon. 9 points in the game so far. 2:06 left in the third.
Well, Kevin, he hasn't had a great game in terms of taking care of the ball and limiting turnovers.
And here is Davis. It's a 1-point game. Six seconds to shoot. Here's Gordon. Almost a 3-point opportunity. Instead, he'll go to the line for 2. Those turnovers may have an impact in other areas, Clark, of this game.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because anytime you're struggling taking care of the ball or with turnovers, it can sneak into your head a little bit and cause you to struggle in other parts of your game.
He knocks down the first one. And the Bucks with some adjustments here. Gets them both. So it's Milwaukee now. They've trailed by as many as 6. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. Al Bell. Nelson in close. Finishes with the soft touch.
Just like they drew it up in practice, Kevin. Sweet dish inside.
Stolen away by Shorty. Here's Shorty. Kept alive. Here's Elson. Booking off the offensive rebound.
You have to block this guy out, Kevin. He's just too active on the boards to be left alone.
Collins lays it in off the glass. They now lead by 1.
Oh, easy lay in there. The D cannot allow that to happen.
Shorty backs in. Here's Bell from close range. Can't get it to go. And the Clippers the other way now. 31 seconds left in the third quarter. It's off his leg. And it's whistled a kick. And as we get a break, let's take a look at some of the scores from last night's games. For the Pacers, a good game in Indiana. The Charlotte Bobcats with the loss. The Minnesota Timberwolves lose on the road. Phoenix gets it done. Out at the Pepsi Center, a win for the Nuggets. So the Wizards drop that game. And that's all we have for you right now. Bucks on D. And so here are the Clippers. Shorty dumps it down with one hand. Both teams changing it up. Good for the three-point play. Now Gordon. He's got 11. Dumps it off. Here's Kaman, the Bucks, with the denial, and it's still a three-point ball game. To the inside.
Explosive offense. These two teams have been going at each other this entire game.
The Clippers trail. To Gordon. Tipped. Here's Kaman. Lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack.
That's a good example of excellent communication. The nice lead pass led his teammate right to the rim for the basket. Great assist on that basket. He's seeing the floor well, and he's making some beautiful passes.
The Clippers still have time here.
That's right, but they've got to keep their composure. They've got to play with poise. Stay cool and keep chipping away at it.
Now Gordon, averaging 13 points a contest. Kaman backs down. Gordon hits the tray. Milwaukee in the lead. And here is Thomas. Here's Shorty inside. Puts it in for 2.
No wasted opportunities for him. He's been as efficient as a heat pump.
Coach Dunleavy signals for a timeout. They're losing by 4. 1:15 left to the fourth. Clark, what's your take?
Davis has been sizzling. You'd like to see him get the ball out of this timeout.
And here is Davis. He's got 8. Barron to Griffin. Here's Gordon. Kept alive. Outside. Davis. Off from three-point land.
That was a judgment call. He took a quick shot there, but I thought it was a pretty good look.
Less than 1 minute left. Now Gordon. He's got 14. 49 seconds left in the game.
Very little time left here. They have the ball, but they are going to need big plays to pull this off.
On the shot clock. Here's Kaman. Nails it from close range.
That's a strong finish inside. That's where you want to work your magic, Kevin.
The Clippers will go for the intentional foul. And here is Red. 14 points for him.
He saved an easy bucket there with the foul. He'll make him earn them at the line.
No good on the first. Sinks the second, and that puts them up by 5. The Clippers call timeout here and take their last 22nd timeout. They're down by 5. 27 seconds left to the fourth. Now Gordon. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Gordon. Off the mark with the 3-ball. The Clippers are intentionally fouled. Sinks the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. 2 for 2, and it's a 7-point ball game.
Clutch free throws there. He drained them all to raise the lead.
The Clippers take their last timeout. They trail by 7. 13 seconds left in the game. Clark, what do you think?
They're going to talk strategy or perhaps what's on the dinner menu tonight. Because this one is really about over. They have no chance of winning this game.
Now Gordon. He's got 14. Barron cuts it in on the layup. So it's Milwaukee now, leading by 5. The Clippers will go for the intentional foul. The first, that increases their lead to 6. Perfect from the line, and it's a 7-point ball game. Now Gordon. Here's Davis, missed. The Bucks win the hard-fought game as they outlast the Clippers 68-61. For his steady play, Shorty has earned his place as the Jordan Brand player of the game.
Yeah, Kevin, he was really stroking it. He shot the lights out, and there was just no one out on the floor who could stop him.
Time for us to say goodbye. For Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan. Thanks for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K.
That was a terrible game. For the guy that was guarding you, I'd like to start off by saying that I thought your shot selection was fantastic. Taking the right shots gives your team the best chance possible to win games. Additionally, I was impressed with all your assists. People love to score, and when you help them with that, they love that. Your teammates are loving you after that game. Great work.
And now, time for the Sprite ice-cold keys to the game. All right, so Clark, taking a look at the Bucks, what's going to be the key for them?
Well, Kevin, they should zero in on Andres Nocioni. He's a sniper from outside, so you'd better crowd him. Get into him, or he'll pick you apart from deep.
All right, Clark, since we're talking about keys, how about Sacramento? What should they key on?
Well, Kev, Kurt Thomas is a guy they've got to keep under control. If you don't keep him off the boards, he can take over a game with his offensive rebound, giving his team extra possession. So boxing him out is your priority.
It ought to be a compelling game to watch. Thanks, Clark. And here's Thomas.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfectly.
And it's Milwaukee's ball. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
When you've got the ability to score from all over the floor, I mean, that's what we saw from them all game long. Versatility in their offensive attack. That's a pretty strong indicator of who's walking away with the victory.
And here are the Bucks now. 4-point game. This is their second meeting of the year against this Kings team.
You know, I know they definitely don't feel good about this loss. I mean, they know without a shadow of a doubt they can play better. They ended up down the stretch, unable to compensate for earlier mistakes they made during the game.
Hamilton with it, following the three from Michael Red. It's Rip Hamilton on the wing.
They say the mid-range game is becoming a lost art in the NBA, but you certainly couldn't tell it from watching that play. What a sweet stroke.
So it's Milwaukee now. Buries the short-range jumper. Now Udrih. 9 points last game out. Here's Thomas, blocked to Nocioni, jacks up the triple. It takes a bad bounce and goes out of bounds.
Good defensive footwork shut down his path to the basket.
Kings going with the new group. So it's Milwaukee now. Just over 3 minutes left in the first. Peaches. And here is Thomas. 5 on the shot clock. Baseline. Shorty. Can't take the lead.
That shot didn't have a chance. He doesn't have the softest touch, and the defense was in his jersey. Got to look for a better shot.
Bucks on D. They trail by 1. Here's Lee. A missed 3.
With nobody around, he can't get it to fall. Won't see that very often, folks.
Right wing. Here's Shorty. Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. He gives them the lead. The Kings trailing to Lee. Hamilton. Hamilton can't hit, and the Bucks going the other way right now. And here is Thomas. For 3. Red misses. So it's Sacramento now. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
They can't be pleased or happy with their performance at the line. They did nothing to help themselves there, and it really hurt them.
Lee's got it. This game he had 10 points. Here's Hawes. Kept alive to end the drought. That's good. He's got 6.
Kicked it to the right guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. It's getting late in the season. Let's see how the standings are out west. Take a look at the Lakers. They're in control of the #1 seed, looking to finish out the season strong. And of course, the Sacramento Kings. They just haven't had the type of record they've wanted. So it's Milwaukee now. They trail by 1. Here's Bogut. Tries to drop it in, but it won't go. The Kings leading. Hamilton in close. Finishes with the soft touch.
That's a good example of excellent communication. The nice lead pass led his teammate right to the rim for the basket.
Here's Bogut. What a tremendous game he played against the Clippers. Shorty to the perimeter. Red's shot is right there.
This is called you must extend your defense, especially on the three-point marksman.
To Hamilton. Guarded by Red. Over Red. Nets it from the wing. He's got 10.
He can't be stopped. He's having a party out there.
To the paint. Here's Alexander. Lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack. Lee's got it. Averaging 6 points per contest. The handoff to Lee. Here's Hamilton. Hayward. We've got a tie ball game on our hands.
They're looking to find the open man, and you can see their advantage in assists. Still, they need to do a better job of...
All right, the first quarter had a lot of good action. I think we'll be in for some more here in the second. So it's Milwaukee now. And here's what's in store for next Wednesday. To Garcia. Gets the bucket and the foul. It's going to be on Michael Red. He can't complete the three-point play. The Bucks trail. Jennings to 0. Here's Shorty, dumps it off. Michael Reddick's on the wing. Kept alive. Here's Red, gets another chance and converts it. He's got 8.
They've been trading buckets and trading leads. What outstanding competitors out there.
Kudrick wasn't watching the line there. That's going to be an over and back. Having an efficient three-point attack, very tough to defend. Let's see some of the best. Take a look at the Kings, a team that will light it up from outside. Top 5 in the NBA.
Boy, the three-point shot is a major weapon for this team, and they know how to maximize it. They'll play inside out, they'll space the floor, they'll make the extra pass, and because they're so spread out, it's hard to get to the shooters, and they make you pay. That was a judgment call. He took a quick shot there, but I thought it was a pretty good look.
Hamilton. The shot is up, and it's Milwaukee the other way. 2:57 left in the second. Shorty backs him down. Here's Jennings. No luck on the three-point attempt.
Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
Here's Hamilton, and that one's good. He's got 12. It's a neck-and-neck game here in Sacramento. Shorty lays it right in.
Easy look in the paint. The defense got abused there.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. We'll see Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. They'll be hosting the Boston Celtics. Things should get underway at 8 o'clock Eastern time in that one.
It'll be fun to watch.
Here's Sacramento. They're off to battle the Clippers after this game as they'll be playing at the Staples Center. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Hamilton with it. He had 15 points last outing. Gets in close, kisses it off the glass and in. 14 points for him.
That's too easy. The D's got to get to him about 8 feet further out.
Here's Thomas. Connects from in close. Nice bucket by the 15th-year veteran out of TCU. The Kings trailing. Here's Evans from short range. Scooped up. Courtney Lee is on the wing.
Well, he was wide open for a reason. The D was just begging for him to attempt that shot.
Bell lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack.
Passes like that are fun to watch. Beautiful feed inside for the score. He placed it perfectly, Kevin.
Hamilton inside, laid in softly off the glass. 16 points for him.
Well, that was a nice start. After having a good first quarter, he's showing us more of the same here.
Here's Warwick, hands in the air, lays it right in.
The D was all over him, but they just couldn't react in time to stop that quick reverse.
And here comes Hamilton. He's got 16. The Kings will hold on to it. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Take a look at the Hawks. They're looking to lock up the best record of the conference and a #1 seed come playoff time. And checking out Milwaukee, they're way down there. And it'll go the other way. The Kings turn it over. And be sure to tune in next Sunday. The Washington Wizards hit the road. They find themselves at Staples Center to take on the Lakers. It all gets underway at 6:30 Eastern Time.
You can count on it that both teams want to win.
Yep. So it's Milwaukee now. 3-point lead. Baseline. Here's Red. Hamilton pulls it in.
So far in this quarter, he's having a hard time getting it done.
Evans. Almost a 3-point opportunity. Instead, he'll go to the line for 2.
Not a bad foul there, Kevin. You don't want him to get the easy layup.
He knocks down the first one. Gets them both. Milwaukee in the lead. Shorty backs in. Thomas, that's good.
Great assist on that basket. He's seeing the floor well, and he's making some beautiful passes.
So it's Sacramento now. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Here's Evans. Drains it from short range. He's got 9.
Boy, what a tough competitor, partner. He's still contributing even with the injury.
Here's Shorty. The shot misses. And the Kings the other way.
Well, it's clear they've got the advantage on the boards in this one, Kevin.
No Sione. Lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack. They're up 37-36. And, they've definitely been more active under the glass, out rebounding, out hustling.
Yeah, and if they can continue to create those chances, Kevin, then their momentum, I think, will stay positive, and they'll be able to build on that.
Break in the action. Now let's check out the league's best shooting teams. Look at Milwaukee, the most efficient team in the NBA in terms of scoring.
With all of the great shooters they have, it's almost easy to think that they would shoot a high percentage. But there's some other factors at play here. They're unselfish, they set good screens, they move well without the ball, and they're disciplined in that they don't take just any shot. They want the best shot available, and that's usually what they get. He's got a sky-high field goal percentage, and that's because he's been working to get good looks.
Here's Shorty in close. Graceful finish. 10 points for him.
These teams have gone back and forth all game long.
Here's Rodriguez. Buries the runner. They now lead by 1.
It just goes to show you, folks, everybody in this league is a pro. Give them a shot like that, and they'll knock it down.
And here are the Bucks now. It's a 1-point game.
Way to distribute the basketball.
Hamilton with it. He's got 18.
An ideal time to go 2 for 1. Every possession counts.
Hamilton. Down, holds it in.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
To Alexander. Shorty. Inside. Finishes with the soft touch. He's got 14.
He's not normally a prolific scorer, but he's given them a big lift in this one.
Here's Rodriguez. Can't get the buzzer beater. Well, it's been an exciting game as we finish the third. The score still close, 44-41. Shorty came to play. 14 points and 6 assists.
Definitely. He's been a splendid playmaker out there, but that's what you expect from him. If you're open, he'll find you.
The fourth quarter about to get started here in what's been an entertaining game. Welcome back to what's been a fantastic game, closely contested by two teams that obviously want to win it very badly as we begin play in this much-anticipated fourth quarter. So it's Sacramento now. They trail by 3. Hamilton with it. Puts up the baby hook.
With the score being so close, there's little margin for error by either team.
Here's Shorty. Gently drops it in. And here are the Kings now. Hamilton. Bogut holds it in, and that's his 9th rebound thus far. The Bucks still holding on to a small lead.
It's anyone's game right now, partner. Every possession is critical.
Shorty leads the game in assists.
Those floaters are difficult to hit, but he made it look easy right there.
Here's Hamilton. Nails the easy jumper.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
Bogut puts up the baby hook. Good.
Kev, both teams have ramped it up here in the second half.
The Kings trailing. Here's Evans. Kept alive. Hawes inside. Bogut on him. On the paint. Shot's good from Hawes.
Snares the offensive rebound, then sends it home.
Warren covered by Hamilton. Tipped.
Kev, that's only his first giveaway for the game.
Evans. Buries it. So it's Milwaukee. They lead by 1. Baseline to 0. Dumps it off. Here's Red. Snatched up. Shorty. Here's Warwick. A follow-up flush.
There you go. Great anticipation and persistence for that putback jam.
Now Udrih, averaging 9 points per contest. Evans can't tie up the score. Milwaukee in the lead. Dumps it off. Down low. Here's Bogut. Lays it in off the glass.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfectly.
Now Udrih. Here's Evans. Trains it for 3.
Well, the D will live with that one. That's really not his range. So even though he bagged the 3, I figure they'll still let him shoot those.
On defense, the Kings. A 2-point game. to 0.
There's another giveaway for him now. And you know he didn't have a single turnover in the first half.
So it's Milwaukee. Bogut, the jump hook. The bucket was set up with the dish by Shorty. And he's got a double-double. The Kings call time. They're down by 2. 1:18 left in the game. Clark, what are your thoughts?
Hamilton is such a great scorer for this team, and he's made a reputation on being able to make big shots late in games. So I've got to think they're coming to him for this play.
Now Udrih. Sione with it. Over Thomas. No good. And the Bucks going the other way right now. 1 minute left to the fourth. Less than 1 minute left. Shorty. Tipped. Great play by Hamilton. Now the Kings with it. Trailing by 2. Running out of time. Here's Hamilton. Gets the go-ahead bucket.
Big-time basket in the clutch, Kevin.
To the middle. Bogut misses the layup. A critical possession here.
Pressure's on. Who rises to the occasion?
The Bucks need every bucket to have a chance. Here's Shorty from close range. Graceful finish.
That's the way to manufacture your shot against the taller defender. Solid effort.
The Bucks will go for the intentional foul. They still got to foul them a second time to get into the penalty and send them to the stripe. Shorty has been sensational.
He's really in the zone and is racking up the points in bunches.
He certainly has. He's getting all the looks he wants and is finishing his chances.
They need to do something to get him out of his rhythm before it's too late.
And Sacramento turns it up.
Got sloppy. In a close game, you have to take advantage of every opportunity.
So it's Milwaukee. It's a one-point game. Gets the bucket.
They got a foul to give here if they need it.
The Kings call for a 20-second timeout. They're losing by 1. 13 seconds left in the game. Clark, what's your take?
Hamilton has been knocking down a bunch of shots for him. In clutch moments like this, you've got to give him the ball and let him go to work.
No Sione with it. 5 points in the game. From inside. Nice shot by Hamilton.
Explosive offense. These two teams have been going at each other this entire game.
They're behind by 1. 4 seconds left to the fourth. Clark, what do you think?
Red has been sizzling. You'd like to see him get the ball out of this timeout.
And here are the Bucks now. Shorty. Money!
Great execution on the inbounds play, and they get the basket.
Here's Evans. Oh, heartbreak. All or nothing there, and he couldn't knock it down. The Bucks win a thriller as they beat the Kings 62-61. For his steady play, Shorty is the Jordan Brand player of the game.
Well, he was the initiator and the playmaker for their offense, Kevin. He kept his head up and created a bunch of easy scores with his passing.
Boy, that's it. Go ahead there. Right?
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports.
Great game, man. Great game. First off, you were very selective on your shots out there. That kind of patience impresses me. As a teammate, your job is to do everything you can do to put your team in a position to win. You definitely did that on the offensive end of the court. Another thing I was